Having gone to St. Francis de Sales Seminary in Milwaukee, I've always had a deep devotion to the patron saint of the place. Francis was a master of the spiritual life. He wrote Introduction to the Devout Life. He was a loving, compassionate, and courageous bishop at the time of the Reformation and knew all the major players, the King and Queen of France and also St. Vincent de Paul. Less known is his relationship with St. Jane Frances de Chantal, whose feast is today, August 12th. Jane was born of nobility in France, married young, had many children, managed her husband's estates, deeply loved her husband. They had a tremendously joyful and loving marriage. So she was an exemplary wife and mother, and that was the trajectory of her life. Her husband is tragically killed in a hunting accident when he's in his early 30s. So she's unexpectedly widowed, dealing with all that grief, managing her in-laws, managing the estates, raising her kids. And she has this vision of a bishop who is going to help her to found a religious order as she moves deeper into the spiritual life. And that bishop, of course, is Francis de Sales. Francis had a vision of this woman who God was going to call to start this religious order for women. So they both have this visual image of each other without ever having met. Jane goes to a Lenten retreat that Francis is preaching in a nearby parish. They see each other and they both say, "You're the person that's been in my prayer and my vision." So Jane founded the Visitation Order, and in her lifetime, she founded over 75 convents of sisters throughout France. And it was an order that was geared toward service as well as prayer. And it was an order that accepted older women who often would not be accepted by other communities. So at that time, most communities were pretty stringent. You had to be in your teens or 20s to enter. And her life leads me to ponder the gift of second vocations, the gift of older folks who feel called to do something else in their life, a second career, or even men or women that join a religious community or priesthood later in life. You know, often we focus all of our efforts on young people and their call, but in many people's lives, there's a second or even a third call that comes later in life. And so God leads us into these chapters of our life and is always inviting us to go deeper. So Jane was a wife, a mother, ends up becoming a religious founder and the superior of her community. And in all of that, she just let the Lord lead her and love her. So we just pray for all the people that are at a stage of discerning another step in their life, second career, second vocation. You know, I've achieved all this. What is God asking me to do now? In all of that, God leads us with wisdom and forbearance and helps us to discover even a deeper commitment to Him. St. Jane Frances de Chantal, pray for us.